everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Vampire. In the last episode, we did the entire quest with Father... what's his name? He's Irish, I can tell you that much. Just through here. And I wanted to come back, and check on him, because I healed him of vampirism, apparently, or of Scarlism, I guess. And as we're coming up, we found this dead guy, which we have to investigate. But I want to come back here, because it's the next day. And I want to see how, if at all, he has changed. Interesting. It's not immediately obvious to me where he is. Maybe he's down with the skull? I kind of wanted to go and check on the skull as well. And we have an easy route to get there because this back way down here should lead to them. I am looking for... there we go, old Bridget.
Have you found the answers you were looking for, young Ekon?
There is too much left unanswered. So many questions.
Get to know us, spend time with us, and I may be willing to answer more questions.
I think we've done all of these. Tell me about Harriet.
What manner of creature is Harriet? She is different from everyone else.
I really don't know. I'm not even certain she is a skull. I've no idea as to what blood made her.
What is a skull, in fact, in your honest opinion?
The progeny of a vampire, disavowed by her maker. Perhaps a fruitless branch of a noble tree. A word used to enslave us. I cannot say.
You mentioned that vampire blood has tremendous potency. You believe it to be stronger than your own?
The vampire's sweet blood. That rich, dark wine that we crave. For it made us, and it can sustain us.
I thank you for your time, madam.
Sean.
I must go back to Johnathan now.
Your kindness has been ample payment, Ekon. To protect us, I'll close the access to our hideout, but you can use our shortcut to reach Mr. Hampton's shelter. Just follow the arrows.
Thank you, old Bridget. I hope we'll meet again.
So we may have actually already done that dialogue. I actually came down here because I was interested to see if Sean was down here, because he wasn't up in his office. But he does not appear to be. That's Harriet. I don't think she has much to tell me.
No more words. Please.
Indeed. Alright, so we have to locate this man's flat in the borough. Oops. I forgot you have to edge pan this, which is kind of annoying. So that there is actually kind of easy to get to if I go this way. Having said that, I kind of want to go back to the hospital because both Dr. Swansea and the other woman, what's her name? Thornberry? Thornberry?
That was smashing!
Is that her name? Elizabeth or something? Shit, I can't remember her name. Ashbury is her name. I can't remember her first name. Ashbury is her first name, though. She's not even here, unfortunately. While we're here, everyone here is cured. I think I'm pretty much done with the docks, to be perfectly honest. Oh. Oh. People are not doing well over there. Where is this? That's where the church is. I don't know anything about this. I could go and heal all these people. That's actually something I may want to do. Fatigue, 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 migraine, cold. So 3 fatigues, a cold, and a migraine. Do I have that? Probably. Cold, I have. Migraine, migraine I have. And I have 6 fatigue. Okay, I can pull that off. So I'm gonna go heal those people. I think I'll actually cut until I'm over there, and I'm just gonna like cut to each person. If anything interesting happens along the way, I've gone the wrong direction. If anything interesting happens along the way, I'll be sure to point it out. But I'm gonna cut for now. Alright, so we're back. I'm at Pembroke Hospital. I just sort of ran my way back. I stealth passed as many people as I can. So I was over here and I made my way through the docks up into Pembroke Hospital so I can talk to both these guys. I'm then going to head up to Whitechapel and cure everybody and then do whatever they want me to do. Side questing before main quest. You get the idea.
When I get back.
So Lady Ashbury should be here somewhere. Over here.
It is good to see you again, Johnathan. How are you?
I'm better than one might expect, Lady Ashbury. Dr. Swansea has asked me to investigate the recent disturbances in the hospital caused by skulls.
Really? What do you mean?
I discovered the most intriguing skull. An elderly woman answering to the name of Old Bridget, and a man who helps them remain hidden in London.
Old Bridget? Peculiar name, I've never heard of her.
According to Old Bridget, skulls can lead a peaceful existence like us. They are even able to nourish themselves by feeding on corpses and the flesh of the dead.
How vile. Please, Johnathan, let's change the subject.
Skulls of London have gone into hiding. Both mortals and immortals plot their extermination.
Yes. Skulls are the orphans of the Vampire Society. They are the shame of their genitors. A disgrace to the vampire that created them.
Interesting.
There is something ominous closing around me, Lady Ashbury. Something spies upon me from the shadows. Something cruel and wicked.
Whatever do you mean, Johnathan?
If Sean Hampton and Harriet were not the guilty parties, then who? I saw the bodies and the blood.
Your rebirth has not gone unnoticed, Johnathan. Be extremely careful. If you get in the way of an immortal's plans...
Do you suspect someone?
I don't know, Johnathan. I steer clear of vampire politics, especially whilst hunters roam the city's streets.
Seems like a fairly good idea.
Goodbye for now, my lady.
Interesting. So that was just a conversation that I could have with her, which was interesting. Discussing what I found with the previous quest. Which makes a lot of sense, to be fair. Now we need to go talk to... You're safe now, right?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I've asked all these.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
She's essentially just a sick woman, but she was getting chased, like, really early in the playthrough. She was being chased by, the vampire hunters, because she has a mental illness that makes her think she's a vampire. And they were going to kill her for it, but I managed to destroy all the documents so that they didn't know. Hey, Swansea. Oh, there you are. Is there stuff for me to loot around here? I may have already looted anything I could loot from here, but I'm going to look anyway. No, apparently not. It's an enormous office.
At last. I've been worried sick. Have you solved the case of our poor Sean Hampton?
Don't worry, Edgar. The reputation of Pembroke Hospital is secure. Sean Hampton was not the guilty party.
Is that true? Oh, good news. Good news indeed.
Unfortunately, who was?
I found Harriet Jones. She's much the same old, embittered woman she was, only she's been made a Skal. Her transformation did not go well.
Incredible. Well, why not bring her here? We could learn so much by studying her condition. It would be fascinating.
I doubt that. She can barely move. Perhaps we could learn more about the degeneration of Skals.
Perhaps. But she could also belong to a new species. We know so little of the laws that dictate vampire reproduction.
Were there any studies made by your order on the subject?
Not that I'm aware of. I will transmit your discovery to the Brotherhood's primate. He will be delighted.
Interesting.
Does the name Old Bridget ring any bells?
I've never heard of her. Why? A patient of ours? I must confess, I don't know them all.
No, it's just someone I recently met. A fascinating woman. I had thought that perhaps...
By the stole, Jonathan, you've met another vampire. I would appreciate an introduction, if that's the case.
Interesting.
What do you know of the Ascalon Club?
Not as much as I would like. There have always been rumors about a secret society of vampires operating in the interests of the British Empire, though I've never met a member.
I crossed paths with one, a terrifying creature going by the name of Fergal. He was sent by the Ascalon Club to exterminate the Skals of the East End.
By the stole, Jonathan. If vampires are eliminating their own progeny, then dark times are upon us. Darker than I've ever witnessed.
Do you think Lady Ashbury would know of them?
Jonathan, our beloved lady is not one for social dalliances, nor the assemblies of dark orders. She's a woman of superior taste and selective acquaintance.
Tips for Dora.
A pleasure as always, Edgar.
Interesting that I didn't actually get the option to ask Lady Ashbury about the Ascalon Club. I hadn't really considered it until that point. I actually may go down and ask her. Because maybe you need to do that conversation first to actually, I don't know, have the idea of asking her. So, what's the Ascalon
Yes,
Club?
Jonathan? Can I help you with something?
I'm better than one might expect, Lady Ashbury. Dr. Swansea has asked me to investigate the recent disturbance.
Really?
Alright, nothing new.
Goodbye for...
That was the same dialogue as before, which is why I skipped through it. Alright, now I'm going to cut again, and I'm going to go heal everyone in the West End. It shouldn't take me too long. It's fairly easy. I should be able to sneak my way through the West End pretty easily, so it shouldn't be an issue one way or the other. Anyway, I'll cut. Alright, we're back. So I'm going to walk around and I'm just going to cure all these people. Including this dickhead, even though he's a
Good
dickhead.
evening, Mr. Whittaker.
It's Father Whittaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
Interesting. First I'm going to cure him.
Don't you fear getting sick yourself?
Faith gives me all I need, my son. If I must fall, then so be it.
No doubt your faith will prevail, but let me give you some extra protection against the devil's work. Medicine.
Blessed be your generosity, my son.
More
What do you
lost than
mean
you thought.
when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
We've already done this.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating...
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing its...
I have heard...
I've already done that conversation. I don't know why it was highlighted in the other color. Both of these guys need help.
You again? What do you want this time?
I'm here to heal.
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
Keep your medicines for others.
There is a thin line between pride and stupidity, sir. Please take this medication. You'll feel better.
All right. I'll take it then. It's not like I don't appreciate the gesture.
It was interesting there. He actually... Keep your medicine for others. I think knowing more about his story now, like originally that would kind of sound like he's just being a dick, but I think he's actually legitimately saying this could be better used for other people. Which doesn't really work, because if you're sick, then you're going to get other people sick anyway. So it's always better to heal yourself. It's not really selfish to do so, but I think he's trying to be selfless in that act. Any news of Nurse Crane's dispensary?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I saw her wandering the streets. Yesterday, I think. She didn't recognize me. People say she's lost it. It's a sad story.
Your life in London. I've done all of them. Personal questions. I don't know any of them. Alright.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Most of these I don't expect to have new dialogue. I think I'm just gonna...
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
What did he have? Did he have any
Right
drugs?
then. Show me what you have.
He does have drugs. Alright, so we're back.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your
I did buy a lot of stuff.
do you?
So I went through and I did a bunch of trading to get some money and some drugs, essentially.
Do you have any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It appears those who dare to get health care from that bitch are never seen again. Something fishy going on there, for sure.
Interesting. I can cure your
Do you
fatigue.
need help, sir?
To be honest, I'd prefer you take a look at my stuff. I'd rather be rich and sick than the contrary.
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue with you. Please, take this. You'll feel better.
Really? Free? Don't take it personally, but charity usually comes at a price. Human nature being what it is.
Interesting. Nothing new. Personal questions. Joe was a friend of yours. Interesting.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Both of these are good. Despair can be a poison.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, haven't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
He's an enforcer for them, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Alright, so he's recovering, two more. Him, I can't get in to talk to yet, I don't think. So I won't worry about that. And Nithicott has a cold.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even
Interesting.
my dreams are soaked with glue.
I never used to be able to come into this house. No one would answer the door. Excuse, kid. Now you've let me in, I'm gonna rob you blind. Because this game has literally no repercussion for doing so.
Is there only pain?
Locked. Job refusal letter. Dear Mr. Peterson, it is my duty to inform you that I refusal to accept your application for a job at the dockyard. I must thank you for your time spent at our office explaining the difficulty of your situation. With your ill boy and the loss of your beloved wife, but it is also my duty to point out the policy of our company which expressly reproves the employment of former criminals or convicts. Your unfortunate connections with the ill-famed Wet Boot Boys have been duly noted. These are hard times, sir, and Finch and Harper intend to reward first the candidates who pass the small inquiry we like to conduct about our future employees. You have my deepest sympathy, and may God be with you and your family. Sincerely, R.D. Harper. He's trying to go straight. Joe cannot find a legal job because of his criminal reputation. I wonder if I can find him a job at the hospital, perhaps.
Suffering in this world.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Well, he's highly depressed. He also has anemia.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Have you any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Nobody dares to enter the dispensary now. Rumors say the nurse has gone mad.
Interesting, though. I wonder if killing her would have been the correct option.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Harry didn't want to live in Whitechapel in the first place. Fair enough. I honestly think his father did do his best.
I'm sure your father did his best when he found this house. Times are tough for everyone, young man.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Interesting. Frail constitution, often sick. And he wishes he was more like his father, interestingly, because he doesn't seem to like his father.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Interesting. Wonder if he saw sort of vampire activity, or whether it was just brutality of man. It could be either, I suppose.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reid. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
That's fucked.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family? To your mother?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you sad, then?
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father used to laugh and smile. It hurts to realise he's as sad as me now.
How was he towards you?
He was nice, I guess. He never forgot my birthday. He always offered me books. I liked books.
Weird relationship, that's for sure.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Out of context, that just sounded funny. Alright, so where is Joe Peterson? Somewhere. I think we want to head up this way. Because there's one more guy I need to heal over here, I think. There's Darius. Hang on.
Good evening, Mr. Petrescu. What are you doing here?
I could ask you the exact same question, Mr. Doctor. Now leave me alone.
I heard what happened to Nurse Crane. How do you feel, Mr. Petrescu?
Everything was going well until you arrived. Dorothea helped people and will be sorely missed.
I regret it too. I wish she'd continued working at the Pembroke Hospital. She was a good nurse.
So you put an end to the operation. Did you put an end to Dorothea as well?
You seem to have a lot on your chest, sir. What's wrong?
I heard you are a famous surgeon. Tell me, what did you do to Dorothea? She was so bright, so clever. Then you made her an empty shell.
I didn't use drugs or medical trickery, Mr. Petrescu. All I did was talk to Nurse Crane. I promise you.
But what happened to her then? After you left, she did not even recognize me. And then she got careless and sick, and I had to flee.
That's interesting.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
I thought, I've already done that.
Are you living on the streets, Mr. Petrescu?
And why not? Those who believe they'll be safe behind walls are blind.
What about your house?
My house is always open to any poor soul needing a roof. All my work here is lost now that Dorothea is gone, thanks to you.
Why are you so aggressive?
I remember the night you came here and convinced me to open my door to you, sir. I'd like to punch you right on your chops.
What do you plan to do now that Nurse Crane is gone?
I'm not sure. Strange men came to see me after Dorothea's death, with strange weapons and very odd stories.
What kind of stories?
Stories all Romanian children know. It was as if I was home again.
In Transylvania.
Vampires, Mr. Doctor. Vampires.
You believe them? Aren't you too old to hold a weapon or listen to scary stories?
Yes, I am old and alone and will die soon, but if these stories are true, maybe I have found myself another cause.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Oh, yes, I shouldn't. Is she the widow in distress?
Good evening, Zhao Shu.
晚上好, Dr. Reid. It's good to see you again.
She was the one who was in the graveyard, and I convinced her that she couldn't just keep coming to the graveyard. One, because it was dangerous as fuck. But two, because, well, it's not healthy to sort of dwell on the dead like that.
What are you doing with your time now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
God damn, she's a good woman.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reid. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
God damn. If there were more women like that in the world, or more people like that in the world, we'd be a much better place.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reid. And for now I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
Fair enough.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
Do be careful. These streets can be as dangerous as that terrible place where we first met.
That's true. And maybe it's the best reason to help people around here.
Interesting. I failed a hint.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew. Without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
It's a good attitude.
Goodbye for now.
Is this guy even alive? No, I think he's dead. Swansbury. Cadogan Bates. Joe Peterson, I need to talk to you.
Joe, please, I don't have you.
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Endure another disappointment. It's a damn depressing and arguably accurate way of putting that. Alright, so I need to find Richard Nethercott. Okay, I know who he is, that's fine. Should be up here behind the church, I think. Pretty sure that's where he is. And I think he's the last person I can heal in this area, but hopefully I can get it out of Sirius and put more up in the stable. She's no longer here, which makes it difficult, but also, we're going to heal Nethercott, and that's going to be in the end of the episode, because it's already, like, gone slightly over what I wanted it to be. There he is.
Good evening, Mr. Nethercott.
And good evening to you too, my good sir. Can I be of any help?
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
Alright, so he's now recovering good.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Not at all, sir.
I guess that makes sense. He didn't really know about it in the first place.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Still, you don't seem to suffer from poverty.
With thanks to my parents, actually. I'm afraid I would not be able to live on my own without their help.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
He feels guilty about relying on them. Interesting.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
What you should do in that situation is get a job and continue writing on the side until you can... I'm going to know why I'm going to talk to the mute. Until you can actually do it yourself. How are you doing since Dorothy's death?
Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed?
God, I love doing that. It's so dumb.
Very well. Goodbye then.
This is Johnathan trying to force people to talk that can't talk. Tell me! Should tell her to write it down would be the smarter option, but you know, whatever. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's episode. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time, where we're probably going to continue main story stuff. Oops. So we've got to go down here, and sort of do the middle of the map, which we have yet to do, I don't think. I think that's pretty much it. I think we're good as far as, like... Everyone here is healing. Everyone here is fine. Everyone here is fine. We've never been here. This is, I assume, West End? Yeah, West End. So I've never been there yet. So everyone here should get better, which I hope should push this back up to stable, would be my hope. And then as far as side quests, find someone who can read Braille alphabet. There's this guy, which I can't talk to yet, so... or at least I couldn't last time I saw. All them are done, all them are done. Alright, I think we're good.
Protection against malevolence and trickery.
Malevolence and trickery. I'm gonna go away from this guy because he yells all the time and it's annoying. Go away, Father Whittaker. I don't want to talk to you. Alright, good. Alright, thanks guys. I shall see you next time. Bye.